our closing out run, just like the last two marathons, Undertale. This time, though, it's a race between tutelarfiber and Cookiepocalypse. They're running all yellow credits. So I'll let you guys explain that and explain the run, and you can do a countdown and start whenever you want.
Alright, cool. So I'll be commentating on TGH, and once they get started, I will go ahead and explain the category. Let them focus.
So you ready, Tootler?
Yeah, I'm ready, Cookie. Want me to count?
Last second. Okay, we're good. Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, one? Okay. Alright. So this is Undertale's all yellow credits category. And basically what this consists of is you still have to get a neutral ending, because before every run, runners must do something called true reset, or delete files from their app data folder in order to basically make the game think that you're starting from a fresh save file, which you essentially are. You have to get a neutral ending, and then you have to get a true passive ending. And along the way, you have to actually spare every monster except for just a couple, and meet certain qualifications for all of them.
Ready to start the timer.
Apparently, we're having some technical issues. I'm not actually behind Tootler. I'm only like half a second, I think.
Did I cut out on the countdown?
Okay, timer's good now.
But I can give like a decent time estimate in a few seconds of where it should be. I should interact with this dummy around 1 minute 10 seconds, somewhere around there.
So both players will be going through the first area of the game called the Ruins. Basically, the first area of the Ruins serves as a sort of tutorial for the rest of the run, just showing the player how to interact with things, how to go about playing the game, how to interact with monsters. That first frogget that they both encountered is a forced encounter, but you can't do anything with it, so they just flee from it.
Oh no, I didn't have a good window to click into GD slide.
I got it though.
Normally I just click on a live slide, but that made it kind of awkward.
I just click on the desktop for that. It serves the same purpose. There are going to be sparing monsters, which is required. So throughout the first few rooms, or throughout the first few rooms, to say, there are two awesome encounters that runners get. Either Froggets or Whimsins. Froggets must be complimented, and Whimsins must be consoled to get their yellow credit.
Oh wow, I'm dumb.
It's important that runners get both the Frogget and the Whimsin in these first couple rooms, or else they'll need to do some extra grinding.
Hey, I did the wrong thing and then I got lucky.
Amazing. I fled the Frogget.
And I did another wrong thing. Okay, let's stop doing wrong things.
No one saw that.
Okay, I have a perfectly fine explanation for everything. It is all Factories Far Away's fault for the $7 donation. Completely her fault. In every way. Not mine at all.
Wait, did Tootler fall?
Shh.
No, he definitely didn't.
I didn't fall.
The start of this run's going very well.
So Cookie is probably battling Napsalook right now. Napsalook must be cheered 4 times. He's a sad ghost. So he has to be cheered 4 times before he lets you go.
Dang cat.
It's okay, I'll get the perfect RNG in Late Ruins.
No, you're gonna get bad RNG so I can take the lead. What am I doing? I'm bad.
According to the timer, Cookie, that was a 357 Napsalook.
It definitely wasn't that good.
According to the timer on stream. So through the second half of the ruins, the players will need to encounter a Vegetoid, a Mygosp, and a Lux, aka Mike Wazowski.
And apparently you spare the Vegetoid by attacking it.
Yes. Vegetoids must be, you have to discuss dinner with Vegetoid. Yes. For Lux, you have to not pick on the Lux. And for Mygosp, you have to talk to it in order to get a yellow credit. And you'll see what Tutelar did on Mygosp was he actually ran into the sprite in the battle animation in order to cancel the animation itself. There'll be a lot of instances of this throughout the ruins. Running into sprites can actually just cancel the animation.
Okay, I'm out of the ruins. I played really badly, but got, like, insanely good RNG.
Have you entered the house yet?
Right now.
Okay, I'm like a couple seconds ahead.
So now we're gonna pick up the pie to use later on Asgore and the final boss.
Oh, it's come to my attention that there's actually a link for me to watch these runs. Okay. They don't work though. They're not working.
I can't believe you
Don't
fell
use
on the
Chrome.
leaf
Chrome
puzzle and
sucks.
you're ahead of me.
I'll be fine. It's fine.
Use Microsoft Edge, the monitor to end all monitors. That's not a browser, I guess.
It actually works on Firefox as well.
Okay, so both players are probably at Toriel right now.
Yeah, I just started.
And what you'll see them do is they'll run into Toriel's hand attacks in order to cancel the animation, just like I mentioned a little bit earlier. So every time Toriel gives you a hand attack from the top left, you can run into the attack, and it'll cancel the animation immediately. You can do this up to 8 times optimally, although that's very RNG dependent and also requires a specific strat involving hitting a fireball spawner from one left, which I believe Tutelar did. Yet
I also, I did it. I got a second try and then I got hit another time. So I got 5 skips when I should have gotten 6 because I'm horrible at this game.
Then you'll see them also intentionally taking damage later on in the battle. That's in order to get them down to 3 HP.
Solid 3
And
cancel.
once they get down to 3 HP, any attack that you hit will end the animation. Toriel's really not supposed to kill you. Basically, the creator of the game, Toby Fox, made it very difficult to actually die to Toriel.
And I did it in my casual playthrough. But hopefully now that the ruins is done, I'll stop playing badly. I'm just shaking a lot.
How many cancels did you get?
5.
I got 3.
Still, though, overall, RNG hasn't been that bad.
And each hand you get, by the way, saves about 4.5 seconds. So the ruins is very RNG heavy, but from here on out, there really isn't much significant RNG in the run.
Yeah, no more RNG like falling down leaf puzzle.
Okay, and now at the very start of Snowden, there's a very important strat here where I'm going to try to start walking facing down at the very start of the first room so that I can continue that facing down throughout the entirety of the next room until I hit a cutscene. This saves about 0 frames. but it's a nice, fun swag strat.
Okay, I got one of the commentary things to work. I can't get the other one to work though. So the players will be entering Snowden really soon, or they will be en route to Snowden. And one thing you're going to see them do is put the pie in the. Excuse me, they're going to do some inventory management at the box, so that the tough glove is first in their inventory. And that's going to make it easier to menu through the next few parts, because once you equip the tough glove, you get an item called the stick in your inventory. And essentially what the stick is this the weapon that you start out with. But once you equip something else, you can use the stick as a pseudo consumable item, and that's going to come in handy on I believe actually just Lesser Dog in this run. So for Snowdrake, you just check on the first turn and then laugh at the joke it makes.
I'm making so many mistakes. But don't worry, once we get to cool things, I won't mess those up.
Okay, I cannot for the life of me get Tutelar's stream up for the source. I can only see Cookies right now.
And for Doggo there, we just checked and then pet. What happened?
Tutelars is on number 4, by the way.
Oh, that's why. I'm on 2. There's Razzie linking 2. Okay.
We intentionally hit Ice Cap there, so we could lower its health enough that we can steal its hat. It doesn't abort True Pacifist.
That's better. Okay, there we go. So it looks like currently Cookie is maybe 2 seconds ahead of Tutelar at the start of Snowden. We got some hard puzzles coming up as well. Like this one.
That was hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. We're good. That was kind of scary, though. Another super hard puzzle in this room. You gotta find the hidden switch.
Okay, so for Lesser Dog, what they're going to do is they're going to throw the stick and then pet once. Alternatively, you can pet 3 times, but the stick essentially counts as 2 pets. Or rather, the stick makes Lesser Dog instantly spareable, but petting it will get its yellow credit. If you don't pet and only use the stick, you will not get Lesser Dog's yellow credit. So now they're coming up on the dog marriage, Dogamy and Dogressa. So what they're going to do is they're going to roll around. They're going to ask them to re-sniff them, and then pet each one of them once, and that's the only way to get their yellow credit.
Also, there's slight RNG on this fight because one of the attacks is about a second faster than the other.
Yep, the axe attack is a little bit faster than the heart attack.
Yeah, I got 2 axes.
I got 2 and 2.
Another hard puzzle here.
Okay, now we're learning about these puzzles. You have to press the X's, turn them into O's, and then hit the switch. This gets a lot more through here. And there it is. We turned all the X's into O's. Done.
Perfect. Cookie, are you using Windows version, by the way?
No.
You using Linux?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to mention, both players are actually using the Linux build of Undertale, which you can do actually pretty easily. You don't actually need to use Linux. Let me explain Ice Puzzle really quick. So, by standing in a pixel-perfect position on the top right tile of this room, and then pressing down and right on the same frame, you can actually...
Dude, let's go! Masochist Ice Puzzle.
You did that?
Both players got it perfectly, and Cookie did a very difficult strat up there, actually. Cookie, don't forget gift trot, dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot gift trap. I got too excited by Ice Puzzle.
I'm glad I got the commentary screen up in time, because I wouldn't have been able to orient it otherwise.
But don't worry, I'll just get perfect Greater Dog RNG. Basically, Greater Dog, if you run into his dog attack, it skips a turn.
It is extremely easy to forget about gift trot in this run. I speak from personal experience. I've done it in like half my all yellow attempts.
I've only done it in one run, but that was my first run of this category. And then I just had a split in all caps saying, don't forget gift trap. I think the problem is today that I'm not using my splits.
So gift trot only appears in this screen that Cookie's grinding in right now.
I got 2 Greater Dog skips.
And it's a screen that we never visit in any other run. So for those who like get used to one category and then move on to all yellow credits, it can be difficult to remember. Okay, so it looks like because Cookie forgot about gift trot, looks like Tutelar pulled a decent way ahead entering Snowden.
He may have the lead, but I have the swing.
That's all that matters, dude.
Yep. I'll just forget to date
So
Papyrus.
there's a small thing I'm going to be going for here in Snowden Town.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, boy.
As the, Snowden Wrong Warp. And in order to do this, you have to come up to this igloo. And I missed it.
I missed
If you
it too.
talk to the sign on the same frame you open the igloo, you can get the sign in the igloo and use that text box to wrong warp into the papyrus room, which always loses time because the wrong warp only puts you like 3 pixels forward, but it's worth doing.
I was about to say, I don't think it actually saves you time. Okay, so they're fighting Papyrus. It actually looks like Tutelar isn't doing too well. Tutelar just lost the fight.
Yeah, I just died.
What a nerd.
God, what a noob, dude.
Don't worry, I can try again.
Cookie is wow. Cookie's doing equally bad.
Don't worry. That was just a practice attempt.
Ah, jeez. Wow, both players died to Papyrus. This is not good.
Basically, what happened there was I forgot that he healed me. And I was just trying to die to get back to full health, and I forgot that he healed me at the start of the fight. And I just wasn't paying attention.
Ah, man.
Okay, second fight. This is where it gets real. He's got no chance.
So as you can see, both players are doing awful. They are really, really sucking at this fight. Just terrible. Awful. I don't know what to say.
Maybe you should stop being so negative,
Gosh.
okay?
Maybe you should
There's
get
a
rid of
reason
Papyrus,
you're
dude.
not running here, okay?
Whatever. Put me in there. I'll get in there. I'll beat Papyrus.
TGH can't beat Papyrus.
If it weren't obvious by now, both Cookie and Tutelar are intentionally losing Papyrus.
Wait, that's a strat?
I thought he was just that hard.
It's because at level 1, which they have to be at for all yellow credits and True Pacifist, losing to Papyrus 3 times actually saves a minute and a half over going through this fight normally.
Also, the fight is boring and
Yes.
takes forever.
Yes.
And now, after fighting him the 3rd time, he asks if you want to fight again. And so we're going to say yes here, because it's a fun fight. Unfortunately, though, because we did not flirt him during the battle, now we can't date him. All we can do is go hang out with Papyrus. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, because that is one of the requirements of True Pacifist ending.
Yeah, basically the date where they hang out, whatever, is it's just a lot of mashing, basically. And at the end, there's one sort of tricky menu. This scene is
I got it.
this scene is pretty hilarious casually.
And he has his secret is hidden inside of his hat, but if you click on his map, for some reason that's close enough.
Tutelar had a very nice what we call spaghetti skip. Basically that's what the menu is. The menu kind of sneaks up on you. You can either accept or refuse Papyrus' spaghetti at the end of this date. And if you refuse it, it saves you about 4 seconds, and it skips some unskippable text. Okay, and both players are now moving on from Snowden to Waterfall, where the run starts to get real. And we introduce a certain item that's going to help break the game for the players. So I figure I should start explaining the punch card like right after a 9 Spears 1, or like right as it's ending for whoever gets there first.
Yeah. And coming up are the flower puzzles, which are deceivingly hard because it seems you just drop a lot of inputs when picking them or throwing them up.
Yeah, if you throw a flower in the wrong direction, you can actually cost yourself a lot of time. The places you can actually stand to pick up a flower are also pretty strange as well.
Also, unfortunately now, we can't get Aaron's yellow credit, so we're just going to flee from him and then get that later.
Yep, Aaron's yellow credit. Most players, I believe now, it's most optimal to get Aaron's yellow credit actually after the Undying date, which is after Astor.
Almost forgot I had to hit the green water and wash us fight.
By the way, if we have any donations in, it'd be probably best to get them in now, because after this part of the run, it's basically going to be rapid fire explaining things.
Well, we haven't had any donations recently, but that's another place to say, make sure to donate if you want them to either hug or ignore the goat later in the run. Hug is winning by a long shot, but personally I like to see the goat ignored.
Probably.
I just don't want to hug the goat because I hate this game, and playing it through the 20 more seconds hugging the goat tapes would really hurt me.
Okay, so I'm gonna start explaining the punch card. Tutelar is coming up on the punch card now. He's gonna buy an ice cream from Waterfall, and a byproduct of getting the ice cream is that you're able to get an item called the punch card, which is essentially casually it's a buy one get one free type of item, or buy three get one free, I guess. But the punch card is actually the most broken item in the game by far, because what makes the punch card unique is when you use it, there's actually a single frame gap in between when you use it and when the sprite actually appears on the screen. So what you're able to do is you're able to interact with things, move around, or do whatever in that one frame gap. And that creates some problems within the game and allows you to do some strange things.
Yes, I wanted to buy 2.
I saved 3 times.
Tutelar going for the double punch card strat. Oh, okay, never mind. So the first thing Tutelar just did right there was he interacted with the box on that single frame, and he was able to wrong warp using the text box, because when you have a text box open, you're basically what the punch card does. Okay, so let me see if I can explain this efficiently. What the punch card effectively does is it influences your interact value, which is the value that the game's code uses to determine whether or not you can move. So if you're in a cutscene, for instance, interact value is 1. Tutelar going for onion sand skip.
Ooh, frame perfect onion sand skip.
Nice, and that you guys are actually directly even right now by my screen. Pretty much. Maybe Tutelar's about half a second ahead. And you also see there, both players just wrong warped into the room after onion sand. And now the Shyren concert.
All you have to do is hum like 5 times.
So about interact value, your interact value is 1 when you can't move. When you're in a cutscene or you're doing anything that makes it so you can't move, your interact value is going to be 1. When you can move, your interact value is 0. Basically, what the punch card does is it manipulates that value from 1 back to 0 when you get rid of it. So, order of events being basically use the 1 frame gap. So you use the punch card, use the 1 frame gap to interact with something. The punch card appears on the screen, and the text box that you interacted with is also on the screen behind it. When the punch card goes away, you have that text box on the screen and you can move around, just like Tutelar and Cookie are doing right now. And you can use the text box for a bunch of things. If you influence your interact value as you're transitioning from screen to screen, you will do something called wrong warping into the next screen. Sometimes it's as much as like a half a second save. Sometimes sometimes it can be actually like a near minute save, which is the case with Undyne. So in the Undyne screen, both players will be skipping an entire phase of Undyne, and it's made possible by wrong warping.
There's also another cool skip that I discovered that saves like 40 seconds with the wrong warp.
Both players having no problem with Undyne Spears 2 skip. And using the punch card is kind of weird. You have to, you can move and pause on the same frame, which is what makes using the punch card possible. Or not possible, but a lot easier, basically. So you can move onto a cutscene trigger and pause at the same time and use the punch card from the pause menu.
Okay, and now really quickly, just what we're doing on this Spears chase is the Spears go in front of the direction you're moving. so we can manipulate them pretty easily.
This race is extremely close, which is very rare for an all yellow credits run, even this early in.
It's just because we both got pretty lucky at the start. So hopefully nobody will soft lock in this run, can continue to be close.
Yeah, one thing that wasn't mentioned actually, every time one of the players attempts a wrong warp, if you don't get rid of the punch card in time, when you wrong warp, your interact value will stay 1 after you transition, which means you will soft lock. You won't be able to move at all because your interact value never gets changed back to 0.
I hate how long that save point takes.
Oh right, I should have saved there. Whatever.
That save
I
point
think
has
I
legs.
pulled ahead just because... Oh, I need to turn cursor off. Don't want this to be a repeat of AGDQ.
Click cursor.
So really quickly, on the dummy, all you have to do to get his yellow credit is just talk to him.
Yep, and then for the rest of the battle, you can just spare, which is quicker.
I just checked him twice.
So you notice on the first phase of Mad Dummy, they actually took intentional damage. That's actually pretty interesting because that really facilitates a strat on Mad Dummy called 5 Cycle. You can 5 cycle the first phase of Mad Dummy, the second phase doesn't matter. But looks like Tutelar got it.
I messed mine up really badly. That's a
He
6
missed it by a little bit. He got a 6 cycle though, so that's fine. Basically what that did was it manipulated the damage that you actually do to Mad Dummy. If you do too much, it can change his attack patterns in a way that is undesirable for getting the 5 cycle, because he doesn't give you enough cotton balls to actually hit him with. Or he does, but it makes it a lot harder to actually hit him with all of them. And the second phase here with the missiles doesn't matter. It's the same every time. The same amount of cycles every time, regardless of whether or not you hit him. One thing I didn't mention actually was the style of mashing. Because I just heard, I think that was Tutelar mashing. Mashing is actually very, very technical in Undertale because one button, basically, you have 2 buttons to skip text with and 2 buttons to advance text with. So Z and Enter advance text to the next text box, and X and Shift skip the text. So you want to hit the buttons in an order that alternates between skipping and advancing text. Alright, so the players are coming up on a room where at the end of this room they're going to actually grind for a Temmie encounter, which can also be easy to forget to do.
Oh right, I'm doing it in the next room. I forgot that's the new thing. All you need to do is talk to Temmie, but that can actually be pretty weird.
What is this Temmie?
Temmie? What? Okay.
Both players being absolutely trolled the hell by Temmie right now. That was great.
The weird thing about Temmie is Temmie has a flex option where the talk option for most other enemies are. And if you
Be nice.
accidentally flex at Temmie, then your run is pretty much dead and you lose like 3 minutes.
That was scary.
I did the wrong menu.
I hate Moldbig.
Yeah, around this part of the run is where health becomes an issue because in AYC, or it's not normally a thing in true pacifists because you don't actually.
Okay, he's got a
Cookie
no
clutched it out.
now.
Nice. You don't actually face any encounters in true pacifist, but in AYC you have to, and if you do it optimally, the combat can actually get pretty intense. And since you only have 20 HP, it can be a little bit difficult to survive.
So I'm
But
getting
both
dumb.
players are low HP right now.
I keep using old strats because of muscle memory.
I used an ice cream, so I'm back up. Because I have two.
I don't take the ice cream. I definitely should have.
Forget that it's different if I don't wrong.
So both players are approaching Undyne currently, and one thing I believe both players are going to attempt to do is something called One Dyne, which is the hardest trick in the game by far. Tutelar going for it now.
Jeez, he's that far ahead.
And Tutelar gets One Dyne perfectly. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
So basically what, I'll explain it after Cookie does it, actually.
We are good.
Nicely done by Cookie as well. The One Dyne essentially is, it's two very quickly done, what we call PCEs, or punch card exploits, which we use to skip both of her cutscenes, or both of her dialogue triggers, and then do a very weirdly timed wrong work, which works differently from every other wrong work in the game. For whatever reason, the timing is just different for it. And what that does is it skips Undyne's first phase as well as her cutscene. For those of you who've played Undertale, her cutscene is basically, why should I tell you the story when you're about to die? Yeah. And you'll notice that Cookie and Tutelar both actually stopped in a certain spot.
Oh my god. I'm smart.
You miss water skip?
No, I
Oh.
overflowed the table and then canceled the text box right away.
So the gist of the rest of this run is just using the punch card to skip everything that's possible to skip. And Tutelar is going to encourage Vulcan. You can actually encourage or hug, I believe.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
get a yellow credit.
I prefer killing Vulcan, but unfortunately we can't do that in True Pacifist.
Only in neutral. Wow, I've actually never seen that before. I wasn't even aware you could do fast pan from the right vent.
Yeah, it's just directly back.
Yeah, what you're gonna see Cookie right now do something called fast pan.
Please.
So yep, he punch cards on the vent and holds down and left to actually get out of bounds, and he's now walking in lava.
That doesn't matter. I'm not fleeing anything anyway.
Staring's in there playing it as well. And that's just the method to get the burnt pan about 2 or 3 seconds faster, which is gonna be our weapon of choice versus Asgore.
I went ahead and equipped
Okay, I
the
got
apron now,
really scared.
which you normally don't do in a true pacifist run right away, but it doesn't matter because I'm not fleeing anything.
I saw the B on the
Oh
the
my
burnt pan, and okay, laser hitboxes are dumb. That shouldn't have hit me. But I
Yeah,
saw the
really?
B on the burnt pan right as I equipped it and thought it was the pie. So it's good that that wasn't true.
So jetpack skip. Jetpack skip is really strange, and we're not exactly sure, or I'm not exactly sure why it works. I'm sure somebody does, but basically, if you store text on the northern wall, and then open and close the punch card before that text finishes, you can actually skip both the cooking show cutscene and the jetpack minigame from Metaton. We see Metaton one time in this entire run.
And we walk directly through him.
Yeah, it's great. So you'll see Tutelar and Cookie as well is right now just going back to that screen to the left of the water cooler. They do that to actually get their menu back because every time you skip a cutscene with Metaton and Hotland, it takes your menu away. But since you never technically finish the cutscene, you don't get it back until you go back to that one screen, which is ordinarily supposed to give it back to you after Undyne. So we use it to give it back to us whenever we need to. Which will be 3 times throughout Hotland. That's the first of 3.
I keep getting super close to forgetting it's AYC. That's one of the hardest parts of this category, just remembering that you're doing it.
Exactly. Both players heated up Pyro twice. And Tutelar just did it. You'll see Cookie do it now. That wasn't... Okay, that wasn't it.
I missed the first switch and then I messed it up the second time. Okay.
We do something called like the phone call glitch. I don't know exactly what it's called, but
Triple switch glitch.
Triple switch glitch. There we go. And the Royal Guard skip. You get Royal Guard skip.
At least 50% of the time.
You get Royal Guards as yellow credit anyway, by default. So you don't actually need to battle them to get their yellow credit, because there's no other way to actually get past them besides getting the yellow credit in casual play. So, in other words, Royal Guards just were not programmed to even have a white credit.
Okay, I'm gonna do a bit of a risky strat in this room.
Here we go. And
well, that's cool. Basically, that's a soft lock. There's no way to get out of that. So I just
you saved.
Yeah. And now I miss Royal Guard skip. Okay, no, that's good. Frame perfect did it twice.
So yeah, the strat that Cookie just tried saves about a second.
Oh, this way.
But it's also very easy to soft lock. And looks like he's gonna try it again.
I don't understand. My mashing is just going super slow there for no reason. Whatever. I guess I just can't do that. That's being really weird.
Okay, so Tutelar is at north-south right now, north-south skip. So this is a frame perfect skip. There we go, got it, and he lost himself out of bounds. It's frame perfect twice. So you have to mash the punch card away on the earliest possible frame in order to assume control of Frisk soon enough to launch him far enough to the right to get out of bounds. And we skip Muffet as well. And we skip Metaton's play as well. So right now, Tutelar's in a state where he does not have his menu. So, but right now, he's going up to trigger this cutscene north of the hotel. And what that's going to do is it's going to trigger the elevator at the start of this floor to actually bring him back to this floor once he tries to go back. Because otherwise he wouldn't be able to get back.
And Muffet is the other character that gives you an automatic yellow credit, like the Royal Guards.
So Cookie doing north-south now.
Okay, that's perfect.
Good north-south by Cookie.
Oh, that
got really easy after somebody told me you can use all keys to mash away the punch card.
That was a weird wrong word.
I ate the pie on the trigger for skipping the scene. Okay. That's cool.
It's okay.
So that loses probably like 20 seconds or something.
Okay, so now Tutelar's going to be going through probably the most dangerous
Amazing.
part of the run right now. Of course.
Don't rip the punch card.
And the reason the core is so dangerous is just because there are a lot of really dangerous encounters. Night Magic being one of them at the end. Astigmatism can be rough sometimes. Even Final Frog at wins a lot can be tough. But going through all those right in a row
I'm dumb.
can be a little bit.
Probably should
little
have
bit weird.
saved beforehand.
It's fine. You're wearing the apron though, right?
Yeah, and I have another nice cream.
You should be fine.
This way.
Yeah, you should be fine. What the apron does, it's good that Tutelar is actually wearing the apron, because what the apron does is every other turn it restores one of his HP. It makes this section a lot safer. So he's
Donation.
Go ahead.
We have a $14 donation from Anonymous. It says, "Hug Azrael with your determination too."
No.
Also, really quickly, in this room I'm in, I'd like quick shout out to Cookiepocalypse for finding this skip.
Alright, so pick on or don't pick on? Somebody.
Pick on.
Pick on. Okay.
Don't pick on.
Fuck.
No, it's always pick on.
It is always
like
pick on.
90% of the time. And I missed the skip, okay.
Also, shoutouts to shouting out yourself in a marathon.
It was don't pick on. I hate this game. Thank
it
you.
doesn't even. It doesn't even. It doesn't work anyway if you get it right the first time.
It does. I've checked.
I've had it say I've done pick on and then it says pick on me. I'm pretty sure you cannot get it
And
first
then
try.
that
I'm
means
pretty
it works.
sure you
And then-
cannot get it first try no matter
You
what you do.
can. I got a first try in practice today. I'll probably end up getting
I
it
have
first
not
try.
gotten it.
I'm 100%
Right here
positive
in this
that
run,
if you choose the
guaranteed.
right one first turn, you
100%.
get it.
Fun fact: the skip that Tutelar's doing right now, with Alphys, you can actually skip this dialogue in neutral, but you should not skip it in True Pacifist.
Because it sets the flag for you having spared meta time.
Yep. Thanks for interrupting me, dude. I'm just joking.
Well, now that I'm
You can
super far
interrupt me
behind,
anytime
I
you want.
have to.
Huh?
I gotta interrupt you to make myself seem cool.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
let's see
so-
if I can get good RNG here to prove Teach wrong.
This is the
Do it,
most
Cookie, prove me wrong.
interesting story segment in any game right here.
Hey, there it is. I got pick on, cause it's pick on like 90% of the time. for
Oh,
some
I'm
reason.
dumb. Please. There we go.
I thought you couldn't spare him until he said that's right. Wow, I'm stupid. Pretty sure I did that in my PB as well. Oh well. So Tutelar is going through New Home right now. There are a couple of skips you can do. He's already done one of them, I believe. I actually missed it, but I'm assuming you did an Angler skip.
I did the harder Magalore skip. That saves one more
Oh.
second. But I did it bad.
It was found by Magler 5000. I don't know if he's here. Shoutouts to Magler5000.
If he's here, please ban him.
Please ban him.
Ban Magler. Hashtag ban Magler. One time I missed Magler skip and I banned Magler from my chat.
Wasn't that on like a world record base run?
Yeah.
Or didn't you miss Magler skip like in a world record?
Yeah. Magler's a good guy.
I disagree.
Yeah, so what Cookie's doing right now, you'll see he uses the text box from the key. He stores the text from the key. And as soon as he hits the trigger for the encounter on the way back, he enters the door, and then the game treats that as having seen the encounter already, so you can completely skip it. Ooh, nice swag work, Doodler.
Thanks. It saves a whole second. If done frame
Saves that
perfectly.
much?
If it's done frame perfectly, it's 1 second.
I thought it saved like 10 frames or something. If you do it perfectly.
I think Magalore timed it, so I was going off him. I'm not sure.
Okay, so players will be doing something called at the end of this long corridor. The players will be doing something called Rambu Kombu. Shoutouts to Rambu for being a co-founder, by the way, of Punch Card Exploit, as well as Valnar. It was found cooperatively by them, and this next series of run warps is actually it's named after Rambu. Magular has been banned by Rizzy. You spelled it wrong though. It's fine.
Aww.
Anyway, it's a series of 3 rung warps, all right in a row, up to Asgore's lair. And it saves a bunch of time.
Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna bring this whole thing back on Ask.
Don't you not have the pie?
Yeah, I don't have the pie, but I can still do it. I believe.
Pi doesn't even really save much time on Asgore. It saves like,
Pie only saves like a couple of seconds.
yeah. And there's Rambu Kombu, well executed by Tutelar. And now about the Asgore fight. So Tutelar's using a weapon called the Burnt Pan, as well as Cookie. They're both using a weapon called the Burnt Pan on Asgore. It's objectively the best weapon to use in True Pacifist, Neutral, and all yellow credits. Because you don't have enough money for the empty gun, which does more damage, but it's a lot harder to use. But you don't have the money for it anyway, so use the Burnt Pan. The thing about the Burnt Pan is it has 4 cursors that go across the screen, and if you get each one dead in the middle, framed perfectly, it does almost double the damage. So you want to get as many of those as possible, but it's quadruple frame perfect to get it. So we'll see how many the runners can get. Oh yeah, first turn you always use the pie because it makes it 1 turn, 1 attack shorter, and it stays shorter turn.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's frustrating on Asgore to
There we go.
to get like 3 attacks perfectly and then miss the last one by a frame, either early or late.
This Asgore is amazing. You're probably gonna catch up, Cookie.
But I still
Hello?
Better have been for Don't Hug the Goat.
Oh man, it was for Hug the Goat. It's not over, we just need someone else to kill the goat.
Alright, that was like a 15 turn without the pie. It's pretty bad. And it was also found that you have enough money in AYC to buy the gun. And it would save 1 turn on Asgore as well. But you
Well,
could,
you do have enough?
yeah, you can only buy the gun though. You can't get the hat.
Oh, I see.
I choked really badly at the end. Okay, I had a 15. Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you.
My Discord. Okay, good. My Discord's just being weird for a second.
We only have, what, 2 more yellow credits to get in this run? After Flowey?
Yeah.
Yep. Asgore and I'm sorry, not Asgore.
Asgore.
Aaron and the Amalgamates.
Fortunately for me, I'm the best at Flowey out of all the Undertale runnings. So
I thought,
there's a chance I can save like half a second on this boss fight.
thought Magalore was better.
Flowey basically, with the exception of a few execution-based things and pockets of some RNG-based things, Flowey is essentially an auto-scroller, and it takes about 11 minutes. For your cookie, it takes about 10:56 for some reason.
No, Maglore is the only one with a 1050, but that's because he's a cheater, and I don't believe it. But my guess is that there's only 2 things I'm better than everyone else at in this game: Flowey and North-South skip. And I'm fine with losing in everything else.
So yeah, basically Flowey is, well, for a casual player, this boss, I think most players casually die a bunch with this boss, and then realize how kind of easy he is if they just try. Like, some people are just like visually overwhelmed by Flowey.
Okay, Flowey no-hit attempt starting right now.
Let's do it.
It's over. First attack.
Amazing.
I'm not good at dodging that attack, it's hard. Also, I don't really pay that much attention to the gambling move around.
Flowey cheats, basically. He's a safe state. He basically tasses.
But it's weird, because when he uses the save states, it's much easier because he only uses 2 specific attacks that you can just slowly move to the side to avoid.
Yeah. No, if you can identify that he's actually saving a state, you can very easily predict like when the next state will be, or when he loads the state.
He does it in 2 of these different phases in between. In 2 of these different phases where he just throws things at us, and we get to attack him for like 1 damage. Or in that case, I did 3. So we're really getting some decent hits on him.
Yeah, the damage that you do to him before the final phase is I'm pretty sure it's completely inconsequential.
And also in the soul phases, as we call it, that I'm in right now, you cannot die.
Left or right on the notebook?
It's right.
Okay. It was right. You were
Looks like I was right.
half the time you were.
Cookie with the unsuccessful sabotage strats.
No, I want Toodler to get a good time. He needs to beat my PB, finally.
This is true.
Even though I haven't submitted my PB and I don't think I highlighted it.
I'm still probably on pace to PB right now, because my PB is very bad.
Honestly, I can probably beat my PB on SpeedrunCTW. That's like 3 minutes behind my actual PB. Wait, I think one of them just got the perfect corner bounce there. What we've been waiting for from the marathon, but it's not as good. It's not the logo.
For anyone still holding out hope for ignoring the goat, we did get a $50 donation from TGH to ignore the goat.
Thank you.
You guys gotta back me up on this. Come on, back
Okay,
me up. We can do
Toodler,
this.
left or right? You get the wrong one, I'm gonna be mad.
Left.
Left is looking good. It was right. I was just
Toodler
trying
with
to
the
help you and then you sabotaged me after I soft locked twice?
You sabotaged me on astigmatism.
What a bully.
Cookie sabotaged himself. So, if I could make a request, Toodler is now starting the final phase of Flowey. If we could get some OW spam in the chat, just spam like OW in all caps with a bunch of O's and a bunch of W's, that would be awesome. It is tradition in Undertale speedrunners chats for their chats to spam just OW over and over, or whatever, spam whatever. There it is.
So it's actually good that I'm behind because that adds like an extra minute and a half.
You also notice that Toodler is delaying his hit on the fight button a little bit. That's actually just aim strat, because your attack on Flowey actually goes up as the battle progresses and it's time based, so it's not cycle based. Yet the time at which the fight button actually appears back after it disappears is cycle based start. So as long as you don't hit it too late, you can't lose any time to it. So it's always worth trying. It's not exactly easy to get it, but it's definitely worth it. You can end it a turn early if you do it correctly, or about half a turn early.
I got it.
I was accidentally clicked out of my window. Okay, good, I didn't miss any.
Angry.
I'm trying to do like a bunch of things for some reason while fighting Flowey. That's probably not.
So you can see Tutelar's just kind of hanging on the edge of the circle of pellets there. That is to make it so that the pellets immediately go away. As soon as you hit the pellets, they go away. Ordinarily, they like expand out around you. Standing in that position, or like clipping into them a little bit, basically, will make it so that they don't expand out and they just disappear immediately.
Okay, and that should be, yes, that's the Flowey quick.
So both players getting the quick kill, very nicely done. Saves about a second.
I'm about to split. I'm not thinking. No splitting.
We have a $6 donation from Anonymous. That's it.
Thank you.
No more to say with that one.
Okay, so now both players will now be heading back to
Those were good wrong warps.
the Riverman to boat to hopefully not Snowden. I was about to say Snowden to Hotland.
I swear if you jinx, I'm quitting.
Toodler, you better 135 this.
Featuring some pretty cool looking downward wrong warps, which Toodler pretty much nailed.
Also, this cutscene right here, in longer runs of Undertale that involve like 20 endings and stuff, this is the best bathroom break you get.
Since we don't do Solus anymore.
But we do in 100%.
Okay, so now Toodler will be dating Undyne, which is required for True Pass Descending. The Undyne date is pretty much purely mashing, and at one point in the date you have to hold right, and that's it. Actually, you don't even have to hold right, it's just a little faster to hold right.
Those were actually some really good runs. Okay, fortunately I managed to not accidentally boat to Snowden, so that saves about 20 seconds.
Cookie with the Snowden skip.
We do Snowden skip 3 times in this run.
Also, make sure to remember Aaron. Did I say that and I'll just forget it.
So at this point in the run, I can't really tell. It looks like Tutelar has a lead from anywhere between 45 seconds to a minute. I can't tell exactly how much the lead is, but
I would say, judging by what time he finished Flowey, but I'm not 100% sure.
Tutelar pulling off the wrong warp into Nap's booked room. Wouldn't you hate it if somebody just wrong warped into your house?
Skipping right past the dialogue they wanted to tell you.
Skipping right past the doorbell and the lock on the door.
And this is how we get Aaron's
Okay,
credit.
actually, I'm on the most important. It's time for start. Okay, that was fine. It's not very good though. I think this run's dead.
Only Cookie in a marathon would say this run's dead.
It's not even dead when I soft lock twice. It's just dead because I didn't stir fast.
Okay, so now for the Alfie's date, which is actually pretty exciting. Just kidding, it's still all mashing.
Hopefully I can mash fast enough to get the dating skips.
Yeah, there is a little bit of tech in
I
this date. If you mash fast enough, you can actually skip some. Yep, you got it. You can skip some unskippable text. Basically, the speed strat is to mash fast. Cookie once again getting the Snowden skip. Jog boy.
Hey, Jesus first.
Oh, I saw that. I saw what you did there.
Did you say anime is real?
No, he went over to anime is not real and then went back to anime is real.
I'm never talking to you again. Dating start skip.
I deserve running into that
Another
corner.
dating.
Nice. Cookie also getting the dating stop skip.
Start, stop, start, skip. Just remove the start, the end, and the second start of the day.
Shout out to JD Linkmaster.
For destroying everyone's ears.
Yes. I love that that's in the
so
past.
great. That was so
I
great.
love that that's in the task so much. Just ear splitting. The official Undertale task complete with ear destruction.
Also, right here during this date is where my arms actually fall off. Because it's hard to press over 40 buttons a second for like a minute straight. But luckily, I'm guaranteed to win over Tutelar now because I follow the truth and anime is not real. But then again, I miss Jesus Frisk, so it's
Yeah,
it's
now
gonna
the
be
run's
pretty
dead.
close.
Now the run's truly dead.
Did you miss both of them?
Also, you can walk on water if you do
Wow.
that.
Oh, he got the backup Jesus for strats.
For some reason, I'm the only person that ever does this. It loses time, but it's worth it for the swag.
Oh, so True Lab is really dangerous actually, because there are a ton of wrong warps. Every room is pretty huge in True Lab, and therefore it generally saves time to wrong warp into a lot of the rooms. And like I said earlier in the run, wrong warping can soft lock you if you're not careful. So you have to be really consistent with wrong warps, which both players are very consistent with wrong warps. So they shouldn't have a problem.
Hopefully I don't forget Endogeny.
Yeah, don't forget Endogeny. It's really easy in this run to skip Endogeny, which is what you're ordinarily supposed to do in true pacifist. You skip Endogeny pretty much completely by doing a text storage strat. However, in this run you can't do that. You have to actually perform the actions. You have to not only battle him, but perform the actions on him needed to get his yellow credit.
This run would have been so close if I hadn't soft lock. Like, everything's been the exact same with both of us.
So if this were TPE, Twiddler would have just continued down the hallway.
I am amazing. I used the
Not as
bandage.
amazing as me.
Trying to be fast.
At least you still have the 5 though.
Okay, we did it.
There we go.
No, I am gonna do 100%, but not here, unfortunately.
Lemon bread can be a bully.
Also, really quickly, what you might be able to see from me is that Frisk starts move when I wrong warp. There's a couple of times that you can see Frisk move in the same room that I'm leaving. Basically, what that is as long as you don't re-enter the room you're wrong warping into, your wrong warp still works, so you can move other directions and just be automatically moving in that direction when you get into the next room.
And after Endogeny, the AYC part of True Pacifist is done, and we just have to finish the game normally.
And now that I've spared Endogeny, the yellow credits in the rest of the run.
Yep.
Please.
So Tutelar is attempting something called generator skip. So basically, what this does, if he performed text storage on the generator, and if he presses yes after Alfie starts talking, it does something really strange with the dialogue, and you just see smell every now and again, the word smell on the text box, and it skips all of her dialogue that she had there. He also had to be careful leaving that room, because if he left it too early, it would have just soft locked him, and he would have been stuck in the tree lab and with no way to get out.
Okay, I gotta remember.
But now Tutelar is approaching Azrael.
Okay, I'm coming up on a skip called Reaper Bird Skip. I'd like to give a quick shout out to the guy who discovered it. I won't mention their name, but
It's not
they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Shout outs to shouting yourself out, but not actually shouting yourself out. Ooh, the bed text wrong word. The bed warp.
And now I will be learning how to smell.
Teaching yourself how to smell.
What face?
And as you can see, I'm gonna give you guys the story right here. That's the whole story. That's all you need.
The flower's gone. So Tutelar's just mashing through a very long cutscene now with a lot of text.
Also, one cool thing about this cutscene is when Flowey talks, you can actually mash text boxes twice as fast as most other characters. Actually, at the very start, Toriel and Asgore, you can also mash it. This game's just weird. So normally, optimal text mashing is 15 text boxes per second. But at the start here, we can actually get 30.
I got one blip. I lost a frame.
Wow. Rip. The run's dead.
I know. No PB.
Make sure to rip the punch card.
Then my pie will be in a different place, and I don't want to think about that.
If you do my menu strats, that puts pie first in your menu.
I don't do your menu strats.
Dang. So I really am never talking to you again after this.
Probably.
There used to be a thing, or there is something in 1.00 where if you press space during this cutscene, Undyne and Alphys start their kiss early and
Yes.
like keep the animation out, but unfortunately that got patched out of one.
Rest in peace, the kiss animation.
When's the cutoff for hug or ignore?
I remember when it was discovered that the Linux patch was actually faster. How devastated I was personally that we couldn't do that anymore.
I just didn't 2 months.
Okay, so the Azrael battle is
Oh, come on.
You
yeah,
rip
so
the punch
Tutelar's
card
just
and
doing
skip
some
the whole thing.
some management right now, some inventory management.
And getting hit.
Filling his inventory with last streams, which heal you to full. He because this battle can get pretty dangerous without them. And he'll have that star attack, which with the star attack will just lightning bolt attack. He'll have a saber attack where he attacks you with 2 swords from each side of the screen. And a lot of it's RNG. Some of it is the same every time, but like a lot of it is RNG based. For instance, his lightning attack is the same every time.
Also, there's another thing at the very start of the fight, where if you spare him frame perfectly at the very start of the main fight, a weird glitch happens. Nope. Didn't get it. Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to guess since there's no like real view for it.
It's kind of weird because it starts pretty close to the music cue, but it's like weirdly a couple frames before.
We call it the color glitch because it's essentially like as Azul flies around in like sort of like, I think the best way to describe it is like colors.
Basically, like the rainbows that go behind
Yeah.
when he's moving in between turns, he has that during an actual turn.
At least I can menu that correctly. Unlike the stick.
So here's something called Hypergoner. So if Tutelar gets hit by any attack from Hypergoner, or any of these diamonds, he'll be reduced to 1 HP. If he doesn't, like, yep, he got through it, okay? He remains at 20 HP, and his chances of surviving go up significantly on this next phase. If you survive, you save maybe 5 seconds? 4 seconds? But this part gets really nasty.
How did I not get hit there?
No! No! I was about to no-hit the frickin' first phase and I ran direct. There's only 2 more left though.
Tutelar is actually wearing the stained apron.
Be
I
nice.
forgot about that, so that makes
I
it.
can't believe I did that and that killed the no-hit. No! That actually would have been the first time I no-hit the first phase. I think.
Tutelar surviving. Very nicely done.
Wait, how did I get here? What the fuck? Here. Heck. I did not menu for this.
Tutorial as for first stats.
Okay. Good
So
RNG
these
on
sections,
Hypergun.
the Lost Soul section, basically it doesn't matter which actions you do, but there are quicker dialogue. There are options for quicker dialogue at the end. And I believe, well actually, I'm not positive anymore ones are. I believe it's Recipe for Undyne.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Recipe for Undyne. What I do is Recipe for Undyne, Nerd Out for Alfie's.
Hug the goat.
It's Judgment for Sands of the Pirates. And it's Hug Asgore for Toriel and Asgore.
Okay, since I died here, I'm gonna get hit 3 times this turn and then die next turn. Or at least that's what I'll attempt to do. When you don't want to get hit here, you get hit, but if you do want to get hit, it can be surprisingly... Please! No, it's so dumb. I hate this.
Alright, around now is a good time to know whether I'm hugging or ignoring the goat.
Yeah. It looks like Hug.
Any confirmation?
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay. Guess we're hugging the goat. Someone donate quick.
Okay, and now I'm gonna move on to the Asgore and Oriole phase, but I have no idea. Some people think there's a way to do it in 3 turns without the pie, and some people don't. I have no idea. I've heard people say you can do it in 3 turns, but I've never been able to do it. So now that we've decided the incentive is to hug the goat, I'll hug the goat right here, and there it is. That's the goat. That's what
You
we all
hugged
asked
Asgore.
for. Thanks for your money.
The goat is hugged. Everybody go home.
I also hug the goat then. So I'm good for this one.
The good thing about Goat Hug, though, is it's hard to miss menu to. No, there's no saving this. Okay, now that we're done with the Asgore fight, there's about 5 left.
Heck.
Dang, this is actually gonna beat my PB on SpeedrunCTW. I think.
Mine? Or...
No, mine.
Oh.
I just attacked Asgore.
What a monster.
Okay, it's gonna be pretty close then.
Well, if you can't not hug him, you might as well attack him.
Oh wait, no! I'm losing PB to hug, guys. Come on. I'm losing PB to hug. I probably actually hugged my PB. So... Oh wait, no, I wasn't comparing my PB. Yeah, I'm losing PB to hug. I can't believe this. Even though it's not a real PB and it's 2.5 minutes behind my actual PB, I'm losing PB to hug.
Hope you guys are happy.
Boo. I mean, aw. It's sweet. The goat has been hugged. Okay, so that's essentially the run.
Okay,
Now
but
all it's up
first,
to do is go up to the final cutscene and mash through the text.
before the goat hug, I'm gonna make sure I don't. Never mind, I forgave them. Okay.
Time is coming up in like a minute.
So yeah, I guess now would be a really good time to just like thank everybody for watching the run and for coming out. You guys are awesome.
Alright,
Ooh.
almost time. Time.
Good run, Toot.
How did I do? Well, let's see if I actually did the run correctly.
Oh yeah, we gotta let the credits play out and see if they got all yellow. I actually have no idea what the time was for Tutelar.
1:35:59.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm about to do a really cool that another great person that I won't mention found. Oh, I did it! Whoa, that's so cool, dude! I reloaded the game.
Whoa, dude.
I mashed super slowly because I'm not used to that. Dude, this can just barely 137.
I wonder what's faster, that or wrong warp.
It's definitely faster than the one.
I got you.
An extra. I think I timed it and it's like a second faster, but it doesn't matter very much.
GG, boys.
Thank you. Thank you everyone that donated as well and for coming out.
Dang, without the soft locks, that would have been super. I wish I was good at this game.
Temmie.
Rezzy, stop the timer.
Maybe Rezzy fell asleep again.
Why did you hug the goat?
1:37:52.
Because they paid me to. I wouldn't have done it regardless.
If someone paid you to like reset a marathon run, would you do that?
If it was an incentive, sure.
Actually, yeah, that would have beaten my PB on speedrun.com by like 5 seconds without the hug.
All
What the
yellow
heck,
credits,
guys?
$1,000 incentive to reset the run.
If we reach $2,000 in the next 10 minutes, they will redo the run.
Yeah,
I won't argue with that. I'm fine if they're fun.
as long as Tootler soft locks and not me.
This should be a 3-way race and Tease joins if we hit 2,000.
If we get 2,000, Rezzy's gonna blind run Undertale right now.
Oh no.
About this game.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, I got all the yellow credits.
I haven't even
no.
been paying attention,
GG.
but I'm sure somebody
Oh,
will
no.
say something if I messed up. Or somebody will just say something now because I said I didn't pay attention.
Cookie, you messed up.
Oh, thanks, T.
You're welcome. No problem, dude.
If you did 2K, you'd do all endings.
No.
Woo, lad. Well, boys, how was the run?
I would be willing to do an all endings, but like it's too late.
Yeah.
How about 82 endings?
Sprev and I didn't
20,
miss lesser dog.
20%?
I know 100% that I did lesser dog. Don't lie to me.
What would you guys rate this race?
0 out of 10. I lost.
I give it a 4 because I didn't beat my PB, which was easy to beat.
A 4
The
out of
thing is,
what?
like-
Just a 4?
Out of 5.
It would have been great if you said 10 out of 10, I won.
Undertale is a game where it's really hard to PB in a
Do you have to
marathon
do?
because of all the safety you have to do. Because of like how much soft locking can happen.
Yeah.
I'm just glad
I
that
didn't
my
even see
run
where you soft lock.
wasn't completely garbage. I derusted for this definitely less than I should have. But that
Did that.
soft lock was just kind of weird. I did that a ton of didn't soft lock once, but it happens.
Yeah, it definitely happens. I can definitely attest to that.
You just gotta be perfect. Come on.
I am
What are you
perfect.
doing? What are you
I'm
doing?
just letting Tootler win.
Sure.
SMA.
Okay, I got all yellow credits. We're good. Both of our runs are done.
Rip.
So
Nice.
now I'm super mad at whoever donated for Hug the Goat killing my PB.
Angry.
Resi, do you know how many PBs we did have? Like in the
At
marathon?
least one.
I know Tina PB'd and got a world record.
That's all I can think of.
I thought we had one other one.
I don't know.
Oh,
I had an
Tootler didn't even
RTA
know get the credits.
on IDT.
That's right.
I'm getting all yellow
Did
credits. What are you
something.
talking
He had
about?
half PB.
Yeah, this is the true AYC.
No, true AYC is no hit credits. Watch this. Guaranteed no hit credits
Yo,
right here.
Tootler, this is a really good no-hit credits.
This-
You got
Okay, if I no hit the credits, somebody has to donate $10.
This is actually impressive. Like, I don't know how he's like actually hitting all these. Like, that's actually really impressive. That like you can actually hit all of those.
He missed.
It's impossible to hit like a lot of them, but
You hit an impressively large amount of credits, Tootler. Congratulations.
Thank
Cookie's
you.
actually going for it.
This
He's
is-
going in.
All yellow credits right there. Or mostly yellow credits.
Cookie's going in, dude.
also corner strats are OP.
Oh, I should have loaded.
$10
yeah, I
if I
didn't,
don't hit any.
Yeah, I
It doesn't hit you in the corner. Damn.
Oh yeah, I didn't say what I rate this race.
What do you rate
0
this
out of 10.
race?
Both runners suck at Papyrus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fuck.
So this is the only hard part of this. I'm bad. Wow, what a nerd. I'm trying to go too fast. In an auto scroller.
I should have loaded my Soulless Pacifist file in.
Rip $10. I believe you just stole $10 from charity by hitting that credit.
And I hit another one because I was just not paying attention.
$20 right there. Bam.
I'm just gonna hit this one. Or not, I'm gonna pass straight through it.
This is a legendary credits showcase by Cookiepocalypse here. Also known as Sellout and Sore Loser.
What?
Shoutouts to
I hit less than Tootler, that means I win, right?
Yeah, you win.
I won the swag game though. So I'll actually move this race up to a 1 out of 10.
Hey. You know, I'd rate it a 10 out of 10 because that was a great race. And screw all of you.
You should really get better runners for your marathon. That tubular guy beat you is really not good.
SMH.
137 something. I saw that.
I'm only human.
I'm just glad this run didn't go as badly as my Breath of the Wild.
Good stuff.